This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for March 31, 2023, St. James man fined $30,000 for cocaine. A man who the police arrested after several parcels of cocaine were found inside his yard was fined $30,000 following his appearance in the St. James Parish Court on Thursday. Christopher Fuller, 30, of Love Lane in Montego Bay, appeared before presiding parish judge Session Mary Smith Ashley, charged with possession and dealing in cocaine. According to the allegations, earlier this month, police conducted a targeted raid on premises in Love Lane when Fuller was observed coming from the lower section of a house. He was approached and a search of the area was conducted, yielding 49 packets of cocaine. When asked about the substance, he reportedly said, "Officer, a little dope me a sell." The weight of the drug has not been ascertained. Fuller's lawyer, Martin Thomas, refuted the prosecution's claim, saying that according to his instructions, his client was not coming out from under the house at that time of the morning. His problem is that he is being targeted, and he insists that at the time he was in his bed sleeping upstairs, they were at his house a few days before and a week before they were there, Thomas said. Thomas then asked the judge for a sentence indication in case his client wanted to shorten the proceedings. After receiving the sentence indication, Fuller pleaded guilty to possession and dealing in cocaine. Judge Smith Ashley then fined him $10,000 or 30 days in jail for possession of the drug and $20,000 or 30 days in jail on the dealing charge. My son was drunk when the police killed him, says a grieving father. Eric Samuels, the father of a 24-year-old Avada Pew Pew Samuels, who was shot and killed during a police operation in Mount Pleasant, Hanover, early Sunday morning, said his son was intoxicated and was not posing a threat to the police when he met his demise. A little bit before that, me and him a talk about how him a drink up enough rum. And me tell him to go easy pon the rum. I never know that he was walking straight into his death on Sunday. A grieving Samuels told the news. He's a man who love him rum. Him not really have no manners sometimes, but him not a troublemaker, and him don't trouble people. All him love is him rum, added the father. Residents of Mount Pleasant staged a demonstration in Lucy on Tuesday, demanding justice for the deceased man, who they claimed was killed in cold blood by a police officer with whom he was exchanging harsh words. When the news contacted the Lucy police for a response to the shooting, their comment was that the matter is being investigated by both the Independent Commission of Investigations and the police. Samuels, who also participated in the demonstration on Tuesday, said that about 4:30 a.m. Sunday, people at the wake were packing up the sound system that was used when the police arrived and ordered everybody to go home. Pew Pew got into an argument with one of the police officers, which turned physical. They got involved in a physical confrontation, which led to my son being beaten in the face and then shot, said the father. We won't stop demonstrating until we get justice. The deceased man's elder sister, Michelle Samuels, who revealed that she was more like a mother than a sister to him, said his only fault of note was his rum drinking habit. He's not a bad person, but when him drink too little drink, him will make noise, but him not harmful, she said. And me grow him. My mother leave from him at 3 years old. My father and my little sister take care of him until me take him over. Me grow him just like him a for me. Everybody thinks he a my son. Errol Chatu, the director of complaints at Indicom's Western office, told the news that they are investigating the shooting and are asking people with information that can assist in their investigation to contact them. We have also taken possession of the firearms used by the officers in the incident, and they have been sent off to Kingston for ballistic testing, Chatu said. Gangsters using local knowledge to evade Westmoreland police. Despite their recent success in apprehending high-profile gangsters in the parish, the police high command in Westmoreland remains concerned about the number of criminals who have managed to elude capture by using off-roads to bypass police operations. Addressing an appreciation banquet for police officers in that parish recently, Assistant Commissioner of Police Clifford Chambers, the police commander for the region, said that criminals are using their local knowledge of the environment to aid their almost seamless movement across the areas. We are all beset by environmental issues, but what is different with Westmoreland is that we have a proliferation of scammers who are good at what they do. You will have side roads, you have back roads, you have intervals, which used to be effective means through which persons who used to cultivate can use. You have ways and means of getting around the entire parish without touching the main road, and that adds to the complexity of the challenge, added Chambers. He commended the officers for their resilience in carrying out their duties. ACP Chambers described a relatively successful 2022, during which the police made serious inroads into the operations of some 15 criminal gangs which had taken root in the parish. The Westmoreland Police started 2023 quite impressively in terms of arresting known criminals and their associates. When you look across the entire division of all the major gangs, barring none, all have been impacted by your hard work and the tenacity with which you pursue your goals, ACP Chambers said. Based on Jamaica Constabulary Force statistics, murders, shootings, robberies, and rape are down by 34, 10, 23, and 79% respectively over the corresponding period last year. Additionally, inroads have been made in dismantling the Darling Street, Dexter Street, Kings Valley, and the Shrewsbury gangs. The police have attributed their recent success to the zoning of the parish, which has facilitated better use of resources. The parish is zoned as follows: Zone 1, Savannah Lamar and Withhorn; Zone 2, Frome and Morgan's Bridge, the Grange Hill area; Zone 3, Darlaston and Bethel Town; Zone 4, Negril and Little London; and Zone 5, White House and Blue Fields. 2-day strike could cost the JUTC almost $6 million. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company is being blamed by the opposition for the crisis in which it has found itself since Wednesday, when thousands of commuters in the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region were forced to find other means of transportation as the drivers employed to the company stayed off the job over a salary dispute. The drivers were expected to return to work Thursday evening, commencing with a 7 p.m. shift, following a meeting with the Ministry of Labor and their union. A statement issued by the ministry after the meeting said the parties, after intense discussions, have arrived at an understanding for the salary advance paid to workers in December 2022 to be returned to workers, and the negotiations continue in the upcoming week relating to payment arrangements. Opposition spokesman on transport Michael Phillips said Thursday that arrogance and ignorance on the part of the state-run bus company in the handling of the situation with the disgruntled drivers led to the problem. As it is right now, the JUTC cannot afford not to have the buses on the road for any period of time, not even one day. When there is no fare box coming in, it's going to put the JUTC into a worse position where losses are concerned. This is arrogance and ignorance at the same time on the part of the JUTC, Phillips told the news. The drivers stayed off the job in protest over their new fortnightly salaries under the recently signed compensation agreement with the government. The workers signed the agreement in mid-March. How they implement it put workers at the point where some workers are going home with no pay or less than what they took home the last fortnight. They did some deductions which are not in keeping with what we are expecting, said Clifton Grant, first vice president for the University and Allied Workers Union. We all need the public transport service, so I'm hoping that with the management, good sense will prevail and there will be a settlement which would put the workers in a position to survive, added Grant. Over the 2 days, the company may have seen a $4 million to $6 million fare box loss, sources say. The bus company, which transports roughly 50,000 passengers per day on 180 units, has already projected operating loss of $11 billion for the upcoming fiscal year. This while being propped up by a $7.4 billion subvention from government to cushion its projected net shortfall. In a statement Thursday, the company said drivers withdrew their service Wednesday and continued their strike action Thursday to protest their dissatisfaction with their salary following the recently signed new compensation agreement. All salaries were paid in line with the heads of agreement. Said the JUTC, the strike action taken by drivers is a breach of the Labor Relations and Industrial Action Act. The JUTC provides an essential service, and the strike action resulted in significant inconvenience to the public. Phillips meanwhile said the strike could have been avoided. It seems to be what is happening right across the whole public service, where communication has been lacking in relation to the compensation for a lot of civil servants, and the JUTC is no different. If monies were going to be taken out of the salaries for the drivers, then at least a conversation, something in writing, should have at least been given to the drivers. It is beyond me that the JUTC has gone to the Ministry of Labor when the drivers say that they want to have a conversation with the Ministry of Finance and the management of the JUTC. Management have avoided having that meeting, he stated. The JUTC also has another issue on its hand concerning 14 mechanics at its Portmore depot who have been on interdiction since November. One driver told the news that the dispute started when they sought information regarding the reclassification for the group. He said the mechanics have been reviewing half-pay since November and have not had word from management as to their future at the company. The news understands that the parties are engaged in ongoing hearings in an attempt to resolve the matter. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.